All right, the boys are back. We've got another edition of the Empty Netters podcast here. We got Jonny Laz, the third Empty Netter, joining us today. We are all in Wyoming right now. We're in Jackson Hole. The three of us are playing in a hockey tournament here against the Jackson Hole Moose. And we wanted to get you guys an awesome episode of the podcast where the three of us are together. We're on the eve of playing in our first game. And we're all, I'd say, a combination of excited and nervous. Boys, would you agree?
And drunk.
And drunk.
But here's the problem. By the time this comes out, like when people are listening to this, I'm going to have a fractured jaw and 3 fake teeth and like a black eye. But like right now I look fine, but by the time this comes out, I'm going to be dead.
What's it going to take for one of you to scrap?
For me personally, it would take just a level of shithousery from another player that is just cannot go unnoticed. If without a response. If someone is just in my face fucking with me so bad that I just can't ignore it, then I will drop the gloves and get my shit pushed in willingly, but I'll have to do something. But there's no way I will instigate a fight. No chance.
Honestly, though, we should get Blakey's opinion because we were sitting at dinner and we were like, is this a half shield vibe or a bubble vibe? like we don't really know. Like, you can't like act tough and wear a bubble. So like,
that was also lunch, dog. That was lunch.
Yeah, like we don't want to go around saying we're gonna fight, but like wear a full shield. Like, but we also don't want to get our teeth knocked out.
Yeah,
like, it's a tough divide, you know.
I mean, I feel like in this setting that you guys are going to, like, you're not going to just your typical, late night men's league game. Like, this is a legit competitive game.
Yeah.
I think you have to go with the halfy.
You do.
No, Blake, don't say that. I can't.
I brought both.
I am not paying $10,000 to get like Jonny and I have enough fake teeth combined that we don't need to add to the fucking dental bills. I'm not dealing with that.
Just know that the chirps are going to be coming. Like, hey, cheese grater, hey, get that bird cage off the dome. But hey,
I have a very built-in chirp back whenever someone says that to me.
What's yours?
When someone chirps me, they go like, "Nice bird cage, nice cheese grater, whatever." I go like this, dude. You're the ugliest guy in the league. It's easy for you to say.
I don't know, man. You can do better.
Jonny, it crinkles people.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like when I go like this, I go, buddy, you're ugly as fuck. Of course you're saying that. People immediately go like this. Wait, am I ugly as fuck? And it's amazing.
I've always loved the roll your window down and then talk to me.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
But
well, listen, Dan and I are mic'd up this weekend, so we'll see if he delivers you're the ugliest guy in the tournament.
Well, if someone chirps me for wearing a birdcage, which I will be wearing, then you'll hear it.
On the topic of gear sty, to kick off our first question for the mailbag episode, we got a question for the boys. Mm-hmm. Best style in the league. Pick your own all-team style.
Oof. So are we doing like a...
So give I guess like a starting five and a goalie. So you're starting six. Okay. Starting lineup, best style in the league currently.
Okay.
Can we do a consensus starting five?
Yeah. Definitely. I like that idea, CP. For me, I don't want to target more old school guys in the league, but if you're not wearing a halfy, you can't play on my Sty team. I hate to say it. So like, I'm sorry, but guys like Maroon, Reeves, Matt Martin, like you're out. Like,
wait,
if
you don't like the bare face?
I hate it. I think you look like an absolute clown.
Great nails.
I love it.
Great nails.
In 5 years, we're not going to have any of it.
Yeah, correct. Good. You look like a dipshit. And
I think the NHL should have cages. Like, I actually think it's a tragedy that the NHL doesn't have cages. There's no need. There's no, like, everyone's like, this guy, there's all those funny videos of like, who the fuck was picking up his teeth this year? I think it was on the Wild. I can't remember, but like, there's all these videos of like, so-and-so's picking up his teeth and whatever, ha ha ha. And I'm like, there's literally no need for this. Like, maybe it's probably not cages. It's probably bubbles. It's probably bubbles is the answer. But like, it is a tragedy that we let NHL players wear a half shield and get their face fucked up. There's just no reason for it. It's ridiculous.
There's been a legit argument like whether Bedard should play the rest of the year with the bubble or not.
Like, play the rest of his career with a bubble.
People are saying like his points with a bubble versus points without a bubble are like a significant difference, that he should just wear the bubble. But
yeah, he's playing like he feels safer, and I get it. He doesn't need to worry about his jaw getting shattered by an open ice hit anymore. It makes sense.
And like, why should players be worried about that? Why should you be like, oh shit, I might get my jaw broken by an elbow?
Yeah, but that's what makes hockey. Like, what is the other sport?
Not till the end though. We all grew up not with that. Like, including everyone in the league. Like, they play hockey wasn't that. And then you get to the league and they're like, this, get your jaw shattered. And I'm like,
I'm not gonna lie.
Why?
I got my front 4 teeth knocked out in junior, and I never felt cooler in the first week. Like, I was so fucking sick. And then obviously you realize it's permanent and it sucks. But like that first week is like, damn, like I'm out.
I'm the man.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Week or like day 6 of eating food through a straw, I was like, this isn't that cool. I didn't like it anymore.
And you missed time. Like, it's like you guys were out for a while. Like, it's not cool.
Okay, I'm gonna go into my first nominee. This is like I said, this is tough because like we've obviously got off-ice style. There's guys who are great with their pregame suits who are known for that, and this one has a good crossover for me. I think Pasta has great on-ice gear wear. I think the slight visor tint is great. I love his unique TJ. It's weird on the blade. It's weird on the knob. It's kind of a swaggy vibe. I think number 88 is swaggy as shit. I like everything that Pasta puts out there. That would be my first nominee.
I like that. I don't know if you guys will agree. It's been more noticeable the last like week because he's got traded to the Rangers, but Alex Wenberg in a nasty sty, dude. Also a tinted.
We're talking on the ice, not off the ice.
Yeah, he's a good looking dude. Like,
yes, he is, dude.
Wenberg sty is 11 out of 10 for sure, and it's like an underrated like good sty because he's not like a big name in the NHL, but since he got traded to the Rangers, it's been like very noticeable for me, obviously. So
yeah,
I would say Wenberg.
So I want to hit a left. I like that actually. I want to hit a left wing, but there's an asterisk. I think Ovi is a B. Actually, I don't know his off, but this is mostly on ice. I think I don't really know Ovi's swag.
CP Cook, I love this.
I don't really know it. I don't really know his on ice, or excuse me, his off ice like entrance. I haven't really seen his suits, so maybe, but I don't even know if that counts. But the asterisk I wanted to talk about was he used to have the tinted. I know he doesn't anymore because Marty Brodeur bitched about it like a bitch. But Ovi, dude, fucking toe flapping out the ass, fucking yellow laces, laying wood on everybody. He actually looks sick as hell out there, and I am very down. Like, he created Dan Powers knows that I used to wear yellow laces like my whole career, and I stopped because Ovi stole it. Like, I'm 10 years older than Ovi. I was doing it before Ovi, but then he started doing it and was putting up 70 a year. And I was like, I actually can't do this anymore because now it's Ovi's thing. And if you create a look in the national, then that's kind of swaggy. So I actually want to give Ovi my left wing, and it would be a no-brainer if he still had the tinted. I know he doesn't anymore, but that would really be the cherry on top.
CP, I'll also give you, he rocks the big back plate on the pants, which I love, and it's kind of a natural jersey tuck. And he's got the front of pants laces tie that also like hangs down to the bottom of his pants.
That was a thing.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like, he's got Sty. I love that Ovi pick a lot.
Everyone was like, I remember like when you try out for a new team, you make the team, you get your pants, they give you the laces with the pants. Everyone would go buy the 108-inch laces, right?
Yeah.
Put them in their pants.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit longer. Like that was for sure a thing. I actually have a question for you guys about like a left wing sty, because I can't tell if like Matthew Tkachuk has good sty or not. Like he kind of gives me like a Steph Curry vibe with the mouth.
Yes, dude. Yes.
But I don't know if it's like sick or like he's just good, so it looks better, and like maybe it's not that sick. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I personally don't have a problem with it, but it doesn't register for me in a positive way. I'm not looking at Tkachuk like, damn, the kid looks good out there. I kind of am like, he looks fine. I have no problem with the mouthguard chew, which is so hypocritical of me because I hate the Steph Curry mouthguard chew. but the way Matthew Tkachuk does it, I'm kind of like, yeah, whatever, that's cool. I have no issue. I think that's my final answer. I'm like, do you? But I'm also not blown away by it. I've got a goalie nominee if you guys will hear me.
I got one right after. Go for it.
Oh, Blake. Okay, Blake, I care more about your opinion because obviously as the resident tendy here in this group, I want to know what you have to say. I think for me, your pads speak volumes. Like that is where you get to shine the most. And I've already nominated a Boston Bruin, so I'm not going to say Linus Ullmark, but I do want to give Linus Ullmark a shout out. He has great pads. I'm going Markey. I think Jacob Markstrom is a swaggy tendy. I think he always has a great set of pads. And then maybe more importantly, his helmet game is always on point. His mask is fire. And Markstrom's a big boy, got a good solid number. I really love everything Markstrom's doing. The Flames colors, and this is a guy who loved Mikko Kiprusoff for a long time. It's hard to look dope with that orange, red, and yellow combo. That's a lot of loud colors, and Markstrom always looks dope. I like his gear wear.
Yeah, he's like his masks in particular. He had this one Johnny Cash mask that I think he wore this season. Oh, sick. Just mint.
Sick.
But I'm knocking points on you, Dan. Right now, Markey is rocking all white gear, and I hate all white gear.
Do you?
Yeah, all white gear is so boring.
Does the same thing, Blakey.
Yeah, it's like, guys, come on, let's make we can go all white here and there once in a while, but that can't be the thing you're wearing all the time.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
My nominee right now, currently this season, is Jake Ottinger. I think Bauer has got an advantage over some other brands with the way they've been able to implement these digital prints on the pads. Another runner-up for me would be Frederick Anderson. He doesn't wear Bauer, but he's always got these really nice sets. But I think it starts and ends with the bucket. You got to have a good mask every single game, even if it's those one-off games. Like that is where a goalie really makes his image.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think Ottinger is my current up there as our best Sty currently.
I like it. I dig it a lot.
I'm having a hard time with this one, to be honest.
I've got another one. I'm going to keep going if you guys will let me.
Do it.
Okay, I'm giving a veteran shout out here, a personal friend shout out too.
I knew it.
Sometimes I think there's if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I love Drew Doughty's vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Blake. Doughty still rocks the Bauer 4500, the greatest bucket ever made.
No, he switched to it. So he had this massive Warrior deal, and then he switched to the 4500 last season.
Was that last season? No, that was more than just last season.
No, dude, it was just last season.
Wow. Okay, even more points.
So yeah, when I started working for the Kings and I was doing the game used gear for them, he was rocking the Warriors, and then last season switched to 45.
Love that. Okay, so Dewey's rocking the 4500, still best bucket in the game. I just love, hasn't got a flipper in. He rocks the no teeth, clean visor. He's got great jersey length, great pants length, great tape job. Everything about Dewey is like classic, and he just nails it. And of course, he's having one of the best seasons he's had in a long time. He is like the clean, despite his, no teeth vibe. The hockey flow in the 4500 with his just crisp gear, the now classic and iconic number 8 in that King sweater. Everything about Dewey is very crisp. So I love that. I love that on the back
I'd
end.
say the no teeth helps. No?
Oh, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, it is a great look.
Just to wrap on this topic, last kind of question I'm going to throw out to you guys. What are our thoughts on the full sock tape job?
What do you mean by full sock? Like top to bottom?
Like Patrick Sharp, like up the shaft.
Yeah, so we're kind of start. Have you not seen my stick?
Yeah. I chirped you for it.
Sorry. You mean sorry, I missed the TJ part. Like, you mean on the stick. Like, yes. Full sock stick TJ?
Yes.
Go straight to jail, dude.
Dust.
Dust. Fucking putrid, dude.
Dust.
So bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you chirped mine already.
I did. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Okay, so you guys aren't really helping me out here, but I love Pasta. I like Dewey. I like Markey, and I love Ottinger. He's also a right wing, I think, but let's be honest, dude. He does it up. He does it. I just got to say though, he does it off the ice and on the ice. Willie Nylander deserves a shout out. Like his on ice gear wear is so clean. I love Jack Eichel's style too. To these days, rocking a single digit, and I know I just gave this to Dewey, rocking a single digit number is hard these days. They're so iconic for so many teams. Jack ripping around in number 9 in Vegas. He's got the jersey, this little move. I'm putting my mic down for it.
Yeah, Marcia
does the jersey pull up over the elbow pads. He's always got the chain flopping out of his uniform.
Too, right?
What's that?
Hooch does that too, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Ike's is good, but if we need another defenseman,
Sergei does pretty decent style, I feel like, in Tampa.
I really love Sergei Sty. I love Sergei style a lot. Don't necessarily want to go back to Dallas, but I love Miro's style. Quinn's pretty solid, but Quinn's pretty clean cut.
No, I don't like, dude. Quinn is Quinn is on his own planet, and that's awesome, and I'm happy for him. But like Quinn is not stylish. He is not charismatic. Quinn is just Quinn.
Excuse me,
and I don't ever want him to change. And he's one of the best defensemen in the league. But Quinn
Excuse me, did you see his Hermes jacket at All Star?
Dude, dismissed. Quinn is Quinn, and that's fine. Possible answers for me, for the same reason you said Dewey, Dan, Brett Burns. He is like the woodsman. He's a Sasquatch, but like I kind of like that in my D guy. He's missing a couple of teeth too, eh? Like right, like and he's got the huge beard. I love the early Brent Burns pictures of like when he had nothing, short hair, no beard. You know, the way he looks now, so ridiculous. I know you hate the number 5, Dan, but I like Tanger because he's what 58. Yeah, like just like owned 58, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, and the tuck, and like he's got a little flow. Like I can fuck with Tanger,
and his knob goes like down half the stick.
Yeah, like what the. But I love
it. That I do hate his bucket. He's got like the Bauer 5000 bucket, but you know, I'll give him a couple passes. That's fine.
I can't tell if Yossi has good style or if he's just like
dude, yeah, or if he's just hot.
Yeah,
but he's just hot. He's just hot.
No, he's got great style. I like that one. Like sometimes I'm pretty sure he rocks a CCM bucket, and that doesn't look good on everybody, but it looks great on him. I think Yost could be a good answer for this. Good call, Johnny.
All right. Well, this is a similar topic, and now we're going off the ice. We were on the ice. Now we're going off the ice. Who is your biggest man rocket in the NHL? Let's just go one for each of us.
Johnny already said it. Alex Wenberg. Done. Move on.
That's yours, Dan?
Yeah. No. And I'm sorry, Tom Wilson. I love you. You're a close number 2, but Wenberg frustrates me because I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like you don't belong in the NHL because you're not allowed to be this good at multiple things. Wenberg is like frustratingly good looking.
I guess I should have phrased this question. Who do we want to be wearing a cage going forward?
Wenberg. Put a bubble on right now. You can't mess up that face.
My pick was going to be Tom Wilson. I love that guy's look. And did you see the other night, he wore one right to the face, and he's like doing his post-game interview. Emotional, and he's talking about a loss in his family, but just, a missile.
Dude, Blakey, Willie's one of those guys. He's like a Game of Thrones character where I feel like battle scars on the mug almost make him look better. Like he wears it so well.
I think he gets credit around my area, but I don't know if he gets enough credit like nationally. I think Barzy's a stud.
Oh my God. Absolutely.
Good one. Yo, shout out Emily Binder. Almost Friday employee, used to rep the pod. OG Netters listeners remember Emily. Emily loves Barzy, dude. Like every time we're on the road, she's like, yo, get Barzy my number.
Yeah, he's a stud. People around here love him, and I've met him a couple times. He's a really good dude.
Oh yeah, he's the best.
Yeah,
he's the best.
At All-Star, he was behind me at the bar with Nylander, and he yelled at the bartender like, "Get this guy a drink. Do you know who he is?" Like in Toronto, it was pretty funny. But
that's sick. I'm normally a contrarian in situations like this, but I wouldn't sleep tonight if no one in this panel said Yossi. So I'm going Yossi because he deserves his flowers. Fucking missile, dude. Missile.
Guys, I'm not going to lie. I think we might have just nailed the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, that might be the 4 hottest dudes in the league.
Like that was well done. Well
Because
played.
Hank retired.
What? So we had Willie, Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan. Who did you say?
Wenberg.
Alex Wenberg. You absolute asshole.
Bum.
Yeah.
Yossi, and then Johnny. Barzy. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good one.
It's a good Mount Rushmore.
All right, next question. What is your most fun drill that you can remember doing in practice, whether it be in junior or just in youth hockey growing up?
I love this question so much.
Me too, dude.
It's like a full ice drill. It starts with a 2-on-0, the two lines are the blue lines. You make like one pass, one guy shoots, then a defenseman steps out, you go 2-on-1, and then you come back the other way, 3-on-2, and then the guy who I think shoots it gets a breakaway after. So it's like a 2-on-0, 2-on-1, 3-on-2 breakaway.
That's clean.
I
like that. Clean drill.
I don't know the
Clean
name
drill.
of it, but that was always fun.
I don't know the name of mine either, so don't worry about it. Okay, mine was I played defense, and all the forwards were lined up in the corner on one end, and all the defensemen were lined up on the far blue line facing that corner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the drill would start, whistle would blow, and the defenseman had to skate to the other blue line, pivot to backwards, and come back. And on that same whistle, the forwards in the corner would go with a puck. And it was just a one-on-one. And it was a drill for the defenseman to get to the other blue line, pivot, and then get back in time to be, equal with the forward in a one-on-one. Because you guys are skating forwards just like full head of steam. And it was supposed to be a transition drill for the defense, like work on your transitions, get back in time. And it was a good challenge. I loved the drill. I loved it, because sometimes you get a great forward who had fucking wheels, and it was like, okay, I got to bust my ass to that blue line and get the pivot. Other times you get a guy who had square wheels, and it was fucking awesome getting the pivot and being right in their face and being like, you are slow as shit. It was so awesome. Very high competitive drill.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny about that one, CP, I don't know if you were going to chime in about that drill.
No, go.
I'm going to say, I remember, as a younger kid, doing hockey camps and stuff. You remember, you'd get on the line and, see where the deer lined up and be like, 3, 4. That fucking 4.
Pylon, dude. I'll take the pylon at 4.
You line up where you stood in line so you could burn the defenseman.
Hondo P, dude. Hondo P. Okay. Are you guys okay if I give 2? Because one was my favorite for fun, and one was I thought was just a good drill for conditioning.
Yeah, for sure.
So the conditioning was there's a line on the 4 in zone dots, right? So in zone dot here, and we're playing and these guys are playing. Mm-hmm. And so you would go like this. You would sprint. This was the conditioning one. You'd sprint from your dot, from the face-off dot in zone to the top of the circle on the other zone. That's where you'd stop, even though they're lined up at the dot. So, whatever, 5 feet or something. So you'd stop at the top of the circle. And when you stop, you'd come back and the guy on the dot would take off after you. And he's trying as hard as he can to catch you. And there's a reward if he catches you. So he's racing after you. But then he also has to stop at the top of this face-off circle because the dot guy is going after him. So you're gassing yourself trying to catch this guy. But then the dot dude is chasing you back at it.
I don't know if I did this.
Dude, it was gnarly. We did it at Duke. And it's you owed push-ups and all this bullshit. There was a lot of punishments. But it was just such a good, not too long of a sprint. It's not goal line to goal line, but it was a good sprint and good risk reward, trying to save some energy, whatever. A little bit of a head start. All the incentives were there. All the advantages were there. Really fun conditioning drill. Here's my favorite fun drill. 2 lines in opposite corners. Okay. And 2 coaches just behind the goal line on each net. You would stand in front of the net you'd be blocker side. Coach would pass it to you, 1T, slide over here. Coach would pass it to you, 1T, and then the coach would pass to the dude in the corner on a breakout, and he would go on a breakaway, and you'd be after your 2 1Ts, you'd back check against him, and then just get in line. You just back check hard, throw a stick at him. He would take his breakaway shot, stop, 1T, back check, and it's just never-ending cycle.
I remember
sick.
Yeah. Low-key conditioning drill for the coaches.
Yeah, true.
Blakey, what did you like as a goalie?
Yeah, so as a goalie, I honestly loved practice. Like I really looked forward to practice because you're guaranteed to
Hardo.
get, like over 500 shots. What'd you say?
Said Hardo.
Hardo.
Yeah, I thought you said it got lit up because that would have been true. But
You're
no,
right.
I loved practice. Like I would get there early. I mean, I was always with a goalie coach too, so you kind of had to be there early. But like I would love to get there early and then also stay late. Staying late, the best drill, rebound. No question about it. Unless you're just doing a straight shootout. But in practice, kind of flow type drill. I don't know if there's a name for it. But it was kind of a drill where the forward comes out of the corner for kind of like a walkout shot. That forward then becomes the net front guy. Puck goes up the wall to the D-man. D-man
Tip.
walks the line. Tip drill. Then that turns into there's another forward that comes out of the other corner.
Dude.
Same thing. Then it becomes a double screen for the tip. And then that turns into a breakout into a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
Same thing. You got a 2-on-1 coming back down the other way. So just a really game-like situation and also like a very battle-like drill, not a specific battle drill, but and then also just doing PK power play. Like I absolutely loved it. I loved being the goalie to set up the breakout. Then I also loved being the goalie getting shelled.
Blakey, we used to call that first one up in Maine, we used to call that the hockey drill because that was the drill that was like, this is hockey. This is the most in-game scenario drill ever. I fucking loved that.
Blakey, you didn't like end of practice shootout competition for 3 hours.
No, I loved it. I love shootouts, dude. Shootouts. I remember hearing the story about Lundqvist doing breakaways in warmups, and then I started doing that in my own warmups too. And guys were like, "Do you want me to like try and score or just shoot it at you?" I'm like, "Yeah, try and fucking score."
Did you guys see Kochetkov in Carolina calling Svechnikov and
Kuzi?
So good.
So next question is a little more hockey topical, I guess for the off season, but will Crosby be traded this summer? And if so, where to?
I don't want to spend too much time on this because we've spent plenty of time on it on the pod in the last several months. Pittsburgh fans, you're a passionate bunch, and I love you for it. All I will say is Sidney Crosby is the greatest player of our generation. It's been an absolute joy to watch him play, and he is a Pittsburgh legend. He is the heartbeat of the Penguins franchise and the heartbeat of that city. If he were to ask for a trade, which is what it would take for him to be moved, he would be well within his rights, and I would totally support it. And I could see him going to the obvious Colorado Avalanche. I could also see him heading back home to Montreal. That is all I will say.
Let me just jump in because Dan, you're right. We've talked about this enough. Laz, I want to give you the floor here because I haven't heard from you on this topic. Do you, as a Rangers fan, as a Met fan, but as a hockey fan overall, if I told you or I don't even have to tell you anything, the Penguins are the Penguins. You know exactly what their situation is and their projections. Anything can happen, but like the projections of the Penguins next few years, feeling like Crosby has like 3 years left. As a hockey fan, dude, straight up, what would you like to happen to Sid? Dan and I have sounded off on this enough, but like genuinely asking you, what would you like to happen to Sid for the next 3 years?
I mean, I think anyone would want Sid to compete in the playoffs, right?
Exactly.
I think it'd be weird to see him not in a Penguins jersey. And while I think like something that separates hockey from other sports is that loyalty to a certain franchise, I would like. It's not like he's chasing a championship.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't want to say like it'd be not hypocritical, but it'd be like almost a coward move to join Colorado and win a cup because like Colorado's nasty, like he's not KD, right? Like it's not a if you can't beat him, join him thing. Like part of me, and again, I feel like there's nothing to compare it to because he's already won and like has established his legacy forever. Like, I don't think it's Gretzky going to New York. I don't think it's Ray Bourque going to Colorado. Like, I think it's its own thing, and that's what's kind of unique and fun about it, where Crosby can go anywhere, and I think it wouldn't be shamed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just to jump in, Johnny, I love the KD comparison you just made
Same.
because I feel like there's so many people who kind of jump on that. Crosby doesn't need to cup chase. He doesn't need to ring chase. And that shit drives me insane because I'm like, dude, if you are still playing at a top 10 to 20 player in the NHL caliber and the team you're on is consistently missing playoffs and looking at a rebuild, there's nothing wrong with going, I would like to compete still.
Yeah.
I'd like to play in the playoffs still. That's not ring chasing. That's identifying that you're still an elite player and you want to play at the highest level. So I think fans who are screaming about that need to relax and get a grip. And also, hockey is so different from basketball, man. Like when KD joined the Golden State Warriors, it was a borderline certainty that they would be in the final and win. And and Sidney Crosby, if he were to join the Colorado Avalanche, that is not a guaranteed Stanley Cup at all. There's so many great teams, and obviously he didn't this year, but it just, I can't stand the ring chasing comments when it comes to Crosby possibly leaving.
Part of me though would also like, again, I don't think he'd be competitive there, but like I don't remember much of like the Mario Crosby days. Like I was young, so like a part of me would love to see the Crosby Bedard thing.
Oh damn, dude!
And I don't know if that's necessarily good for the league, but I think it'd be cool to watch, like, you know, the handing or passing of the torch of some sort.
Team Canada next year.
Celebrini, Bedard, Crosby, line one in Chicago next year.
I mean, I think they're all centers, so it'd be
Yeah, they are.
But,
Hey, whatever, you play wing.
I think there's something cool about that, like out with the old and with the new vibe. But I don't know how like really exciting that would be just for the league as a whole. You know?
Yeah.
I think it would be beneficial to his legacy. Like, yeah, another 4 cups compared to 3 cups. Obviously, 4 is better. But I think for his legacy, like, say he stays in Pittsburgh and he becomes kind of like the Nostradamus to all the young guys that are coming in and that Dubas is going to start to bring in. And he kind of mentors that group and sets them up for success. And then they get a cup, say, 10 years from now, and they all like credit Crosby's mentorship and leadership to that future hypothetical cup. I think that would be more impactful to his legacy than a 4th cup on a new franchise.
I will say though, dude, no matter what hypothetical cups get credited to Crosby, him finishing his year. No, but I think it's a cool thought, but I'm saying
what hypothetical cups
if he plays 4 more years and misses the playoffs every year on Pittsburgh, it is a tragedy. As cool as any hypothetical cup the Penguins would win that Crosby mentor, which I actually think is a cool thought. I just think Crosby finishing the last 4 years of his career on the Penguins missing the playoffs is a tragedy. If he goes to Montreal because it would feel good for him and misses the playoffs, fine. But if he stays on the Penguins for 4 more years and never makes the playoffs again, a disservice was done to hockey fans, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more with you, Chris. I think I think people would look back and go, what a shame that was.
CP, can I ask you a question while you brought it up?
Yeah.
Sorry, Blake, you just came to my mind. Which NHL franchise leads the league in hypothetical cups?
The New York Rangers.
Or the Leafs? No?
The Leafs.
Definitely the Leafs.
This is our year, dude. The Leafs. I like the Leafs in that, Dan, and I like this is unfair, but the Canes have just been like we're in the Eastern Conference. Like I'm like, you guys are so sick, and I'm like, you're fucking terrible.
I like that.
Dude, honestly, low-key Boston has a ton
of
fuck you.
No. Yes, it is. 100%, Laz. Thank you for saying that. Fucking Boston, dude. I've said this a million times, maybe not on the podcast.
That's so not true.
Dan,
Boston talks about 2. No, you. Boston talks about 2, and they're 2 cups that they were in. They go, if we had won those 2 cups, at least they were in the Stanley Cup final.
Dan,
those are hypothetical cups.
Yeah, and Dan,
again, it's 2, and the Leafs talk about every single season they exist.
Yeah,
so those aren't even comparable.
Homer.
I disagree. Dan's wrong. Dude, the 2 we lost, and then like last year, best record of all time, L. The fucking right after the first cup in 11, President's Trophy, L to the Caps in Game 7, first round. Like that.
No
that,
one's talking about cups those years, you brain
Yes,
dead
we are.
idiot.
Did we win the President's Trophy? Dude, that core
You're
winning
such a
one
moron. It's
cup
hilarious.
is a tragedy.
It's hilarious. It's truly hilarious how stupid you are, Chris.
I'm all on board for the hypothetical Bruins Cups. You're a hypothetical dynasty in the last decade.
There are hypothetical Bruins Cups, no question. But if we're going to say that there's more than the Leafs, then you guys need to take a
Leafs win.
Like, get out of here.
All right, cool it, guys. Getting into our next question here, a little similar to Crosby. Weirdest pregame rituals you've ever seen?
Oh, okay. I want to shout out my boy. This is barely a ritual, I guess, but my boy Tommy Olson grew up with me and Dan. Great hockey player. He played prep at Bridgeton, and a kid on his Bridgeton team, no matter, and this, this is ridiculous, and maybe you guys know guys like this, but no matter what, before every game, puked 2 times. He would go to the bathroom in the locker room, boot, start getting halfway dressed, get pants on, boot again, and then be ready to go. And there were games where he said he couldn't boot the second time, and he was like freaking out. So like they'd be all dressed, ready to go out for the game, and he would run to the bathroom and like make himself puke just to hit his 2 boots pregame. Very weird, but whatever works, baby.
Feeling light.
I got 2. One is a guy I played juniors with, and every single home game, he would go and get 2 large meatball subs and gas both of them in the locker room before the game. And I was always like, I remember the first game, I was like, how in the world are you not going to hurl both of those all over the ice? The other one is a guy in the NHL right now, who I will not name, and no, Johnny, it is not who you're thinking it is, who would pregame, get to the locker room about 1.5 to 2 hours early, take a shower, cold tub, take another shower, and then put his headphones on and sit or walk around the locker room butt naked for like an hour before the game.
I don't even know who you think that I was thinking of, but I love that.
It was so funny, like, because he would be just strolling around the locker room butt naked, headphones on, doing his thing, and we were like, yeah, that's his vibe. But it was absolutely preposterous.
I can't think of one that I've like seen for the most part. I always kind of, I don't want to say like did my own thing in warm up. Like I was always different. I played a lot of sewer, but then I kind of just like wandered off my own. But I've heard, actually, you guys would know better than me. I have heard, and I've noticed it, like, you know, covering the Rangers. Kreider gets off with like 10 minutes left in warm up, and I've heard that he gets fully undressed.
Yeah, he sure does.
Like before the game starts. I don't know if it's in intermission too, but I heard he takes everything off like after warm up and then just gets redressed.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. You know, I've never seen it, but
dude, isn't that tapped, bro? Like I can't believe that move.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that's the only one NHL that I've heard is different from most. I know there was like a rumor that Marlowe used to like cold tub in between periods, right?
Yep. Our boy Bobby Ryan did that one night.
Really?
Yeah. When he had a tough night the night before, the next day at the game he would cold tub between periods.
No way. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have time for that. Like
it's ridiculous, dude. Yeah. But Laz, tell if you're okay with it. Tell everyone your 5.5 minute pregame.
Oh, yeah. I'm okay with it. You guys both know I'm a big Little Dicky fan. Like he's my idol. I love him. So I think this rap came out like maybe my junior year of college, and it was like a literal like 5 minute on the dot like freestyle. So whenever the 5 minute 30-second mark would hit, like till warm up, I'd throw on Little Dicky's freestyle on Sway in the Morning.
Yes. Oh my God, that is such a good freestyle.
Before every game, Blakey. Every game. I can't wait to bring it out tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, dude.
Wait. I don't get it though. When would you put that on?
So the clock, we'd have a clock in our locker room, like telling us like.
Okay, sorry. I kept mixing the clock up for On-Ice. I was like, what are you asking? Like the person playing the warm up in the rink? Yeah,
no, it'd be my own headphones, but like the clock would run down, like obviously like 20-minute mark. It's like everyone starts kind of getting ready after you stretch, and then like it gets down to 5.5, and I know it's like a 5-minute wrap. So I have 30 seconds to put my helmet on, get my gloves on, grab my stick, and walk out. So at 5:30, I pull up YouTube, throw on the little Dicky freestyle, and then I just give myself like 30 seconds to.
I love it. My last one that I'll give you guys, and then we can move on. My personal one is in my last years of competitive hockey, I would every single game I would tape my stick, take all the tape off, and then tape it again.
It's such a waste of
Or
time.
even went out.
And money, dude.
It was like it was a weird it was one of those things. Like I did it one game, I was looking at it, I didn't like it, I took it off, I redid it, and I had like 2 goals and an assist, and then I just did it the biggest waste of tape in the world.
Yeah,
He did it one time, had one secondary, and he was like, I got to do this every game from now.
Chris, a wrong secondary too. It wasn't even mine.
Dude, I will say that kid Tommy Olsen I was talking about earlier, me and him have a 20-step handshake we would do every game before puck. Like we were the last 2 out, bang, 20-step handshake, we both step out. And I guarantee I see Tommy all the time, but we haven't done that handshake in 15 years. But I guarantee if both of us tried to rip that right now, we could do it easily.
I'll bet $100 right now that no, you could not.
I will put that on video with Tommy Dan this summer.
You could, but I'll bet $100 right now that
Dan, film that this summer, dude.
Fine.
Call me out this summer. And Tommy, I know you're gonna listen to this. This summer, me and Tommy, no practice.
What's so funny, CP, is you're famous for this. No one on earth gives a about this story except you. And I'm so glad you're telling it, but it'll be great.
I'll do a good punishment. I'll do a good punishment if I'm wrong.
All right, last question for this episode. What rule change or new rule would you like to see implemented in the NHL?
LTIR.
Okay, I have one that's going to be controversial, and I'm ready to go with it. But if you guys want to go first, because this is going to be so hated, then you can go. But if you want me to just take it, do it.
Come out the gate, go.
All right, dude. I'm gonna. Oh, I lost this. Hold on. So my coach at Duke, Brent Selman, legend. He texted us this. No, but
what are your stupid Glory Day stories, Chris? Get to the.
It's not a Glory Day. I want you to hear what he said. Dan, remember what was it? Me and Dan, you and I did a post years ago. I guess probably a year ago. That was like a dumb rule. I literally can't remember what we were talking about. I don't know if you do, but we said we were like raging about something being a dumb rule. And Selman, my old coach, texted me because he's the man, and he was like, "Dude, here's a rule I think is stupid." And he gave me a whole argument, and I didn't like it at first, but I was like, actually, I don't hate that, and I'm ready to get skewered for this. He says being allowed to ice it on the PK is bullshit.
I've heard this before.
Let it sink in. And his argument is this. The minor argument is it's like confusing to new fans because they're like, why is that? What's happening? Why can you do that? But his bigger argument was like, dude, the same reason they changed the change up rule. It's like, that's the coward's way out. If you ice it all the way down, then fuck you, it's coming right back here. And we're taking a face off and going. It increases power play, ozone PP time, which everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to see that. Everyone wants more power play goals. Power play goals, well, the best power play in the league is what, 25%, except for the Oilers last year, which were 50. But
that's the average now, 25.
So what is it, like 30?
33, 35 now?
Yeah. So what do you think it would go to, Laz? If I deleted allowing to ice, would it go to 37, 40?
It should.
But my point is, it's like, oh, okay, but that's my point. I don't think it would go to 45, 50. I think it would go up a couple percentage points.
Nuts. It would go so much higher.
Not if you have a good face-off guy on the PK. You know what I mean? Like you can win that face-off.
So much higher.
So obviously it kills a ton of time. I get that for sure. But I just thought that was a really interesting take because it is the panic move and you're down. That's why it's allowed. Obviously I get it. I'm not an idiot, but I'm interested in that. And I'll stop there. What's your guys' take?
Think about the 5-on-3 though too.
Killer, dude. Yeah. Good call.
Like you are, if you can't ice the puck.
Johnny, 5-on-3 power plays would go up to 80%.
Yeah, they should.
I would allow a change on the PK. Like, you know how you can't change even strength if you ice it? If you ice it on the PK, it still comes back down, but you can change.
Still. Listen, I don't think it's dumb. Sorry, Johnny, keep going.
No, I was trying to comprehend that. Like you can
My
ice
one
it.
thing about the power play PK thing, I think it'd be interesting if you score when you're on the PK, your guy comes out of the box.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too. I think that's sick. I would 100% do that. That's fucking dope.
So what I think, I don't think it's dumb, Chris. I don't think it's dumb at all. I think it adds a different element of the game, but I do think it would drastically change things more than you think, because what I take umbrage with the panic move label, because I don't think that's a panic move. I think it's just a good play. If you're a defensive player or a penalty killer, like, it's a good play. And it would just so brutally change the way you play on the penalty kill if you can't ice it, because now we're trying to eat it way more often, because you're not, what are you going to make, a D zone pass? That's a stupid thing to do 5-on-5 if it's not the cleanest pass in the world. And when you're a man down, that makes it so complicated. So I just think it would just get so brutal. Like, guys would have to learn how to take sand wedges out of the zone and drop it into the neutral zone, and then you can't even really change up. I just think it would make power play goals go way up, and that'd be entertaining, but I'm not sure I'm ready for that. One that I have always found very interesting, I think if you have a delayed penalty and you score on said delayed penalty, it should not negate the penalty.
That's college. College does that.
They do?
Yeah.
Dude, my last game at UMass, we played Merrimack. I took 3 penalties, and on 2 of the penalties that I took, they scored on the delayed penalty.
And then you still had to walk between your legs into the box. Yeah.
And then I went back to the bench, and I parked my ass at the end of the bench, and I knew I was never playing again.
Yeah. I think that is I would love to see that rule in the NHL.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was trying to think outside the box, and granted, let's all take into account that we've had about 3 shots of bourbon and like 3 beers each. So I wanted to be like a little bit creative with this, and I obviously went last, so I had more time. I know the shootout is probably like never gonna go. So I was trying to think of like a way to increase that. What if, like, before the game, each team had to like submit a list of 10 players that are eligible for the shootout, and the opposing goalie got to pick 3 players for the other team.
Oh,
love.
Sick.
Like, call out a guy.
Mental warfare, Johnny.
You know what I mean?
love
they
it.
did it in the skills comp.
Yeah.
Where they picked. Yeah.
Right? Like, McDavid, I think, picked Georgiev, and Georgiev won. So, like, what if, like...
Dude, wait, but Laz. Okay, hold on. Let me just riff on your riff here, okay?
I mean, it's probably not a good idea, but, like...
No, this is sick. Okay, so each team, before the game, a team submits 10 players, all right? And then the goalie gets to pick 3 guys. He looks at the list and he goes, these 3 guys. Okay, but
not before the game, like, if it goes to a shootout.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I'm saying this. On that list of 10 guys, okay, the team gets to put a star next to 5 of them, 3 of them, okay? So they make a list of 10, but they put a secret star next to 3 of them. So then So then it goes to a shootout, and the goalie gets to pick. So he's like, this guy, and this guy. If he picks a guy that had a star, that guy gets to ask for the backup goalie. So you can't just pick the worst 3 dudes, because you probably put the star next to those 3 dudes. Because he's like, this bitch, f- you, then I get the backup goalie.
Crazy plot twist.
What a great moment to let people get into this sick brain that Chris has. Like,
riff on your riff, dude.
Johnny, great idea. Chris just makes it way more complicated and unnecessarily convoluted.
It'd be so easy to look at the shootout percentages. Like, the goalie would be like, him, and him. Obviously, they're the worst guys. But I'm like, did I put a star next to that guy, bitch? Maybe I'm getting the backup now. Come in cold and try to fucking stop me, Julie the cat. So we'll see what happens.
I still think if it goes past like 10 rounds in a shootout, you just set out the captains, do rock, paper, scissors, 1 of 1 at center ice.
Hondo P.
I think we can all agree. Let's all get that. Let's get rid of delay of game over the glass, and then we can move on.
Yeah, Christ.
I don't know.
Johnny,
come on,
dude. If you're
why don't you like it?
Yeah, I think it's a good rule. If you're hemmed in your own zone for like a minute and a half, you can just send that shit out. Like,
I actually hear that, like when it's done like that, I get it, but there are so many examples. I would say over 50% are so accidental, and I just think it's so
there
dumb.
needs to be an involuntary rule, because straight up, like sometimes you're swinging your stick, like someone, like a puck gets chipped and a guy literally swings his stick and just hits and goes out. And I know you're introducing like. Yeah, it is, dude. Yeah, dude. They call it because they're like, you meant to.
Chris, you're wrong. Like if hold on. We're getting confused. Like, Chris, you're not saying if someone, like if there's a puck in the air or like someone kind of moves errantly and it goes out, that is not a penalty. But I agree with CP. Like sometimes there's a play where someone has all the time in the world and they're trying to just like chip one over the zone and they just get too much of it and it goes out and they're like delay of game. And that one is called. And I think that's stupid. But you guys are right. When you're hemmed in and you're panicking and you just try to rip one off the glass as it goes out, I like that. But I'm telling you, it's like borderline 50% of them are definitely not panic moves. It's like a complete accident, and it drives me nuts.
But, dude, like, the fucking biggest cop-out in hockey is when in doubt, glass them out.
Yeah.
And guess
I
what?
agree.
When in doubt, you take a penalty like that, you should get, you should.
I hear you. I just think there are so many examples when it's like, it's not a panic, and I'm like, oh, that's so stupid.
Then that's on the player.
I spoke to Bruce Fox this year, Adam Fox's dad, who's like a very big hockey dad. And the one thing he said to Adam, like growing up, was like, I don't care what your coaches tell you, you never go glassing out. I don't care. like it's just like it's a lesson learned to like younger defense.
I actually love that, dude. Yeah.
That is fair. And Blake, you're right. It is on the player. Like if you make the fuck up, it's like you're an idiot, dude. Why did you sky that? But it's tough. It's a tough 2 minutes.
One last rule thing that I've thought about is for overtime. So we have this great 3-on-3 overtime now, but now it's kind of morphed into kind of like roller hockey style where you're just going puck possession the whole time. I would love an over and back rule like in the NBA and a shot clock. So you have a 30-second shot clock, and the second you go over the red line, you cannot go back over the red line.
Blue line, bitch.
No. Well, then you can still have some neutral zone to work with, but it forces the teams to not just rag the puck the whole time and take chances.
Blake, this is before you joined the team. The three of us got together and had a full breakdown about 3-on-3 overtime.
And what's our opinion?
We talked about all of this. I think the one
I'm on your side. Side.
The thing we all liked the most was get rid of offsides in overtime. It'll be fucking electric. That's full roller hockey.
Yeah, that would make it worse, wouldn't it?
I disagree.
You can have a guy hang.
A guy would be hanging the whole time. Like you couldn't do the regroup shit because people would be all over the ice and be electric.
Yeah, no, I'd love to see them mess around with some stuff. We'll see what they do.
I love it. All right, well, boys, this was a blast, guys. We're going to keep you updated. We're here all weekend. Check out our IG, Johnny's IG. We're going to be here in Wyoming playing in this tournament. Thank you so much for all the questions. This was an awesome mailbag episode. And Johnny, as always, thank you for joining. It's such a blast when you hop on. We got to do it more often.
Last quick, say everything you're up to right now.
Yes, truly. Give us the whole rundown with everything with Morning Cuppa and then also Daily Face-Off and everything that's going on.
Well, first of all, I mean, you guys know how, and I think everyone who listens to your show knows how much I love you guys. You guys are my day twos. I've been saying it now for almost a year. I do a morning show, Morning Cup of Hockey, every Monday to Thursday, 9 to 10 a.m. live on YouTube, Eastern time. I know you guys are West Coast guys, so tough to get you guys on the show at 6 a.m., even though Dan's the CrossFit hardo that probably wakes up at 5 a.m. and makes a protein shake and gets after and whatnot. But, yeah, I want to thank you guys, too, like publicly for including me in this weekend. I told you guys kind of off the air that I hadn't gone skiing or been to a ski town since I was 7 years old, and you guys texted me, hey, come play men's league in Jackson Hole, and I was like, down. All my high school friends go on a ski trip every year, and I haven't done it, so it says a lot about you guys that I was just kind of like willing to do it. But yeah, I mean, you can just catch me on Morning Cup of Hockey and Daily Face-Off, and I'm sure we'll have some playoff stuff going on with the NHL again like last year. So that's all I got to say. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Love it. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And until we catch you next time,
skate hard.